different song. In light we shine, in shadows we grow. It's how we learn to belong. The dress code of light and shadow is where I found I was strong. Tailored smiles for daylight appearances. Vulnerability reserved for the night. We change our clothes with the circumstances, shedding layers when the timing feels right. Some days I wear my heart exposed, some nights I button it away. The fabric of who we are is composed of what we choose to display. There's poetry in this masquerade, the constant shifting of our attire, breaking codes that others have made, stepping into what we desire. There's a dress code between the light and shadow, rules we write as we go along. Silk for sunshine, velvet for sorrow, each moment calls for a different song. In light we shine, in shadows we grow. It's how we learn to belong. The dress code of light and shadow is where I found I was strong. What if we dressed in honesty, wore our souls on the outside? No more fabric of society, nothing left to hide. I wanna see you in your truth, and you can see all of mine. The most beautiful outfit, forsooth, is when our light and shadows align. There's a dress code between the light and shadow, rules we write as we go along. Silk for sunshine, velvet for sorrow, each moment calls for a different song. In light we shine, in shadows we grow. It's how we learn to belong. The dress code of light and shadow is where I found I was strong. So dance with me between worlds tonight, where the dress code is simply to be. In this balance of dark and light, we find how to set ourselves free. Light and shadow, shadow and light, the perfect harmony.
Postmark from a marker, my name in blue ink. Your handwriting unchanged by the years. Cafe stained envelope, perfumed with memories. I trace each word through invisible tears. The paper still warm from the same morning light. Stories of cobblestone walks that you take. You write of the rain on the left bank at night, and all of the choices we could not make. A letter from Paris arrived at my door, words crossing oceans to find me once more. Each sentence a street where we used to explore. A letter from Paris, I've read it before. In dreams where I wander those boulevards again, where promises bloom like the gardens we knew. A letter from Paris, our story preserved in ink that reminds me I still belong to you. You speak of La Tour in the soft evening glow, how it sparkles at 9 just like my eyes once did. You sit at our bistro, a table for one, with memories dancing like ghosts in the mist. 3 years since I boarded that westbound plane, while you stayed behind with your artist's heart. The distance measured in more than just miles, as we learned how to live ourselves apart. So I brewed some French press as I read what you wrote. Each sip takes me back to where we began. The carousel turns at Tuileries in my mind, as I hold your thoughts in my trembling find me once more. Each sentence a street where we used to explore. A letter from Paris, I've read it before. In dreams where I wander those boulevards again, where promises bloom like the gardens we knew.
Champagne glasses gleam under chandelier light. Camera flashes burst like dying stars. The legendary designer takes one last bow tonight as models line up behind velvet bars. 3 decades of fabric, scissors and dreams now culminate in this farewell display. What started in Paris with impossible schemes ends in applause that will soon fade away. Yesterday and tomorrow embrace. The music shifts tempo as each model glides past. Their faces porcelain, their eyes alive. Each garment a chapter from first to last. A visual memoir that learned to survive. The critics are speechless, their pens held midair as fabrics tell stories no words could convey. The designer watches with pride and despair, knowing tomorrow begins a new day. They say all beautiful things must end as seasons change and styles transform. But what we create transcends the trend and outlives even its final form. This is the last fashion show, when silhouettes walk through shadow and glow. Time suspended in indigo as beauty makes its final throw. Legacy sewn into every stitch, memories draped in satin lace. The last fashion show, where yesterday and tomorrow been breeze. Behind the curtain, seamstresses wipe tears away, knowing their hands helped build this empire of cloth. The apprentice who will rise tomorrow watches in silence, learning what it costs to create something beautiful and then let it go. To stitch your heart into every scene and watch it walk down the runway alone. The house lights dim one final time as the collection takes its curtain call. Some endings are really beginnings when you've given fashion your all. This is the last fashion show, when silhouettes walk through shadow and glow. Time suspended in indigo as beauty makes its final throw. Legacy is sewn into every stitch, memories draped in satin and lace. The last fashion show, where yesterday and tomorrow embrace. The runway empties as the music fades. The designer walks alone through falling rose petals, one hand raised in gratitude, one pressed to heart. The spotlight narrows to a single thread of light, then darkness falls, gentle as silk. The last design is not a dress but a goodbye, and it I slip into silk that no mirror can catch, a garment of whispers and light. They say I'm enchanting but can't tell you why. As I glide through the gala tonight, my reflection shows only my face and my hands, as if I'm floating through air. The dress woven from secrets and unspoken truths is something no mirror would dare. This dress doesn't reflect in the mirrors on the wall.
Dress made of hope and of longing shimmers most clearly at night as we spin between truth and illusion. The boundary starts to dissolve. The dress that the mirror can't fathom is the one that makes me whole. This dress doesn't reflect in the mirrors on the wall. Invisible to glass but felt by all. A masterpiece they cannot see, but everyone believes in the beauty of the things that exist beyond reflection. The dress that only hearts detect, my invisible perfection. What if finest parts are those we cannot see? The kindness and the courage that no mirror can decree. What if our true elegance lies in what we give? The invisible garments that show us how to live. Would you still believe in beauty if your eyes could never tell? Would you trust the feeling of the story that I sell? This dress doesn't reflect in the mirrors on the wall. Invisible to glass but felt by all. A masterpiece they cannot see, but everyone believes in the beauty of the things that exist beyond reflection. The dress that only hearts detect, my invisible perfection.
From La Montmartre heights to Saint-Germain, that perfect blue unfolds above. A canvas stretched across the Seine in hues that only painters dream of. We walk beneath this sapphire dome, your hand in mine, our shadows twin. The cerulean sky became our home, a color I forever kept enshrined, until Paris blue fades to twilight gray, until the Seine stops flowing to the sea. I'll remember how we promised we would stay in that moment eternally. The Eiffel Tower silhouette against that perfect azure hue. I'll keep loving you, I'll keep loving you, until the Paris blue fades away. Cafe awnings flap in gentle breeze as clouds waltz slow across the blue. You spoke of art and philosophies, while I just stared at the sky and you. Now seasons pass like carousel turns, that blue still haunts my reverie. The color of a love that burns in memories that won't set me free. They say the Paris sky holds secrets of lovers who have come and gone. Its blue collects our whisper regrets
and keeps them safe until dawn. That special blue, so hard to name, somewhere between heaven and pain, holds the fragments of our story in its azure endless rain, in its azure endless rain. Until Paris blue fades to twilight gray, until the Seine stops flowing to the sea. I'll remember how we promised we would stay in that moment eternally. The Eiffel Tower silhouette against that perfect azure view. I'll keep loving you, I'll keep loving you, until the Paris blue fades away.
Now I'm back in Paris alone. The blue above seems different now. Not the color that we'd known when we were young and time allowed. For endless days beneath this sky, for promises that couldn't last, for believing love would never die, like the blue that holds our past. But some blues never truly fade. They just deepen with the years. In the Paris of my mind we've stayed, beyond the reach of time and tears.
Until Paris blue fades to twilight gray, until the Seine stops flowing to the sea. I'll remember how we promised we would stay in that moment eternally. The Eiffel Tower silhouette against that perfect azure. Morning light filters through the blinds as I stand before mirrors that don't lie. Old routines fade with yesterday's disguise. Reinvention calling, it's my time to rise. There's a certain charm in changing your design, when the world expects you to fall in line. It's the magic of style, transformation in motion, a secret language spoken through what we choose. It's the spell that we cast with deliberate devotion. When you find your rhythm, you've nothing to lose, nothing to lose, nothing to lose. Vintage threads and modern silhouettes, walking down streets like personal runways. Confidence blooms with each careful step. What once felt foreign now feels like home. They say beauty fades but elegance remains, in the art of living with intentional grace. And when the city lights illuminate the night, we become artists painting with fabric and time. No rules to follow, no lines to stay inside, just authentic expression we can't hide. It's the magic of style, transformation in motion, a secret language spoken through what we choose. It's the spell that we cast with deliberate devotion. When you find your rhythm, you've nothing to lose, nothing to lose, nothing to lose. Beyond the surface, deeper than appearance, style speaks volumes about who we are. It's not about labels or following trends, but finding pieces of yourself in what you wear. In cafe corners and moonlit boulevards, we compose ourselves into works of art. The magic never fades, it only transforms. Like seasons changing, we adapt and evolve in this beautiful dance hands tied against the frost. March brings floral pins as green shoots appear. June's golden combs reflect the summer glow. September's brass leaves as colors start to fade. Each morning at my mirror I decide which piece of me I'll wear with pride. My collection tells the story of my days, a calendar of moods in different ways. 365 crowns for my hair, a different mood for each day of the year. Some bought in Paris, some found at the fair. Some hold my secrets, some wipe away tears. My hair accessories changing with the seasons tell my story without words. My grandmother's heirloom, mother's favorite clip, the one you gave me before your final trip. Summer's seashell barrettes remind me of the shore. Winter's pearl hairpins for evenings I adore. Some days I pin it up, some days let it fall, with just the perfect ornament to face it all. Each piece a tiny chapter in the novel of my life, some chosen on a whim, some with careful strife. Oh, there's power in these small decisions, the way we decorate ourselves. My mother saved her wedding hairpin, my daughter eyes my sparkling combs. These tiny treasures pass through generations, small kingdoms in my dresser drawer. 365 crowns for my hair, a different mood for each day of the year. Some bought in Paris, some found at the fair. Some hold my secrets, some wipe away tears. My hair accessories changing with the seasons tell my story without words. Tomorrow I might choose the silver stars, or maybe just a simple satin band. 365 possibilities, 365 versions of me. Cashmere in autumn colors laid across the bed, silk scarves folded with such care and grace, silver cufflinks that my father also wore, a pocket watch that keeps a slower pace. I've chosen every piece with memories in mind. Each fabric tells a story, each button holds a truth. My final coordination meticulously designed, a sartorial farewell, the last thread of my youth. This is my final ensemble, the last outfit I'll ever choose. Every detail deliberately assembled, nothing left to win or lose. The perfect coat to face eternity, the ideal shoes for walking on. My final coordination when all is said and done. The tailor asked me once what legacy I'd leave. As as he measured shoulders, sleeves, and chest. I said perhaps just kindness, maybe art. He smiled and said your style was always best. Now I select the tie in colors of the sea, where ashes might someday be scattered free. A handkerchief embroidered by someone who loved me and cared enough to stitch their heart to memory. We dress ourselves in armor every day, in cotton, wool, and linen, and in silk. But in our final outfit we surrender to the truth beneath the fabrics of our making. What will they remember when I'm gone? The man inside or what he had put on? This is my final ensemble, the last outfit I'll ever choose. Every detail deliberately assembled, nothing left to win or lose. The perfect coat to face eternity, the ideal shoes for walking on. My final coordination when all is said and done. In closets full of possibilities, we search for who we want to be. But in the end we understand our essence isn't in the brand. The labels fade, the fabrics tear. What matters is the love we share. So as I choose these final threads, I'm letting go of all regrets. The finest suit can't hide the soul. The truest style is being home. This is my final ensemble.